everyone. Welcome to another Wednesday evening live. I'm going to be working more on...
I don't know how to turn the sound off. Oh. There. Okay. Sorry about that. I don't know what I'm doing.
I'm going to be working on the alfresco quilt still some more. I have the center stars all finished and I sewed those together. They're in the center of the quilt, the larger stars. So now I'm working on the smaller stars that go in the corner. You may be able to see it better on the back if it's showing up. I don't know.
I can hold it up if you want me to.
It's fine.
Okay.
But the smaller stars here are just going in the corners, and then there's a kind of like piano key border going on. So
hello everyone. Sorry about that. I tried to create a new countdown for the video and I had it going, but I didn't know how to turn the sound off when the video started. So if for the first like 10 or 15 seconds of us talking, you hear music in the background, that's my fault. I did not mean for that to happen. Hopefully I have fixed it because I don't hear it anymore. So interesting story. Andrea says, hope we are safe from the storms. Yeah, so it's been weird. We had some really bad storms. There was a tornado that touched down not near us, and there were people that were without power for about a week. After that got fixed, our power went out and went in and out because it was really windy, and there's a bunch of 100-year-old, 200-year-old trees where we live, and some of those trees fell on power lines. So hopefully we can make it through this without our power going out. So if we just magically disappear, that's what happened. I don't think the power's gone out today.
No, but if we lost power yesterday and there wasn't even a storm, so
yeah, so you just never know around here. So hopefully we'll be good. So interesting story. We did the drawing, the grand prize drawing. We announced it here last week, and I reached out to the woman who won the next day, and at first she thought it was a scam. She didn't even know she had entered into the drawing to win. She was just on our store and bought something, didn't know. So she said she wanted to sort of understand what was going on. So I sent her a link to the machine and we talked about it for 30 minutes. And then she said she'd get back to me. And then she called me the next day or the day after, I don't remember. And she basically said, look, very excited to have won, but I just don't want the machine because I don't quilt a whole bunch. And she said that she was probably not going to use it. And I mean, in fact, what she had bought from our store, she had bought back in March and said she hadn't even used it yet. So she didn't feel it was right for her to take the machine since she doesn't quilt all that often. So I made sure she didn't want it, and she said she didn't. So now we are here. We had to redo the drawing, which we did on Tuesday. We would have done it on Monday, but it was a holiday, and it's very hard to do something not official on a federal holiday.
Oops, this one out again.
So we redid the drawing, and I will announce that here in a few minutes. Probably around 7:15. And if that person doesn't want it, then we will do it again until we finally find someone who wants a free machine.
Yeah, it was really surprising, but also very kind of them to just be like, hey, it's not something I'll be able to use. And there's probably somebody that will be able to use it more. Because, I mean, they were free to do it with it what they wanted. So they could have taken it and sold it or given it to a friend, but it's pretty awesome of them.
Yes. So a couple questions here. If someone mentioned that I sound louder, that's just because I'm deaf. Okay, I don't want to offend anyone who is actually deaf. I have hearing loss, so I talk very loud because it's the only way I can understand what I'm saying. Because what comes out of my mouth sometimes doesn't register with my brain until I hear it. It can be a problem for a lawyer, but it happens. So if that's the reason, it's just because I talk much louder than she does. I can try and tone it down, unless what you're saying is you can't hear my wife, and then I'll just tell her to talk louder. Oh, Shannon's in the chat. Hey, Shannon. Sorry, I'm just like catching up on all of the chat because that's my one job, and I'm not good at it. Someone asked a question. Here we go. Karen says, since they are so important, can you touch on sewing machine maintenance? I am a novice sewer and don't want to break my machine. So, Karen, I think there are a couple answers. A lot of it's going to depend on what type of machine you have. We had a Bernina. Actually, we still have it.
Yeah.
We're not going to give that away, or what are we doing with it?
I don't know. I need to figure out something. I tried to put it for sale on like Facebook Marketplace, but
no one wanted it.
It's really hard now with that kind of stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe we'll give that one away. But so our experience with Berninas is that they require very frequent maintenance on certain parts to make sure that they function properly. We've never had any of our Jukis serviced and have never had a problem with them. So
I think like traditionally they say you should get them serviced like once a year. I think like as much as I sew, I probably honestly should twice a year. But for this one, I just anytime I need to change out the bobbin, I clean all the dust out, any loose threads if there happens to be, and then every couple bobbins I'll oil the machine. Some people say you should oil probably more than I do, but I feel like this one doesn't seem to need as much oil. If you sew a lot, you can kind of hear the change in the sound of the sewing to know when you really need to give it a good cleaning. But I've not really had any trouble with this machine as long as I keep the dust out of it.
So, and a lot of it too, is it an industrial machine? Is it a regular machine, domestic machine? So, this one right here is an industrial machine. So technically they're built to not really require a lot of maintenance. And then we have another one back there that she's probably run hundreds of thousands of stitches doing leather and thick materials, and it's never had an issue. So it depends, right? If you have a brother that you bought from Walmart, which we have one of those somewhere, they're going to need a bit more maintenance simply because they're not built to withstand the sort of abuse that you can put through it.
Actually, I think I have two brothers.
I don't know where the other one is though.
It's in the
okay. So it just depends on your machine. The best thing I can recommend is, depending on what brand machine you have, you can contact whoever you purchased it from. If you bought it from a quilting store, they can probably tell you what the maintenance schedule is. But you can also just look it up online from the manufacturer and find out what you might need to do. Let's see. There were a couple people who made comments.
I saw Julie and Julie.
I'm gonna tell that story.
Okay, never mind.
You can tell it, but I wanted to. Anyway, Amy and someone else said they love your shirt.
Oh, thank you. My mom got it for me. I don't think it was around. Maybe it was for Christmas, but a few months ago, and I really like it.
So it says, touch my sewing machine. I will slap you so hard.
Like Google won't be able to find you?
Even Google won't be able to find you, which is awesome. So now you can tell the story because I highlighted Julie's.
Well, I don't really know what story you were going to tell. I was just going to say that we were driving the other day, and I rarely we see a lot of like big rigs around here and everything. But I rarely see women driving them. And the other day we saw a woman driving one, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, what if that's Julie?"
Yeah, it was in Brookshire, Texas, and the driver had just came off I-10, presumably to go to a gas station that was right there. So if you were in Brookshire yesterday, Julie, you may have driven right by us. Because it was a blonde woman, and apparently you are blonde based on your picture. So I don't know if it was you or not, but there's another blonde woman out there who drives trucks.
I was just really excited because I was like, that would be so, because I know you're around this area every now and then. I don't think you're ever that far over though. I don't know. I was really excited.
Dexter's mom says, do you have a small vacuum for the machine?
I don't, but I saw one and I was really thinking about getting one, but I'm really big on reading reviews and I never got around to looking at it, but I do want one.
Just tell me which one and I'll get it. She has a big problem. She'll want to buy something and she'll talk about it, and then we'll get into bed, and then she doesn't want to go and get her wallet to pay for it. And I memorize all our credit card numbers. So I'm like, just let me do it. She's like, I'll do it in the morning. And then we never buy it because she forgets.
I'm always hesitant to buy things. So that's just the way it is. Shannon, which is Slay Arts. Yeah, that's how, that's why I sort of don't oil the machine as much as I did when I first got it, because it said, I don't remember how frequently it said to oil, but it was like a lot. And I was getting oil like it was just everywhere. So I just stopped oiling it as much as they said, and just kind of do it when I hear it, like where it kind of sounds like it needs. I don't really know how to explain the sound, but I'm just like, it needs oil this time.
Let's see. Karen. Oh, I already did Karen's comment. Teresa Louise iQuilt 2 says she cleans her machine the first of every month. That makes sense.
No, that's
It's just a good way to.
I just always I need to really open this up and clean it really good, but whenever I change the bobbin, I just go ahead and wipe out all the fuzz and stuff in there, and then it usually keeps me going pretty good on this one. The Bernina, it didn't matter how much I cleaned that one out. It was just the only problem I had with that one was the thread cutter. That's what would just get all jammed up no matter how much I tried to clean everything. So
someone wanted to see you, Shadow. Laura says that, and this is correct, when you're used to your machine, it talks to you and you learn the language.
That's so true, because I can tell when the bobbin's out, if I'm paying attention, if I'm not watching something else, or like listening to TV or an audiobook, I can tell when the bobbin's out just by the sound, which is so helpful if you're sewing like a really long row and think you're sewing but not actually sewing.
Julie says, no, it wasn't her, but she always looks at passing cars thinking they might see us. Yeah, we don't have any like stickers or anything crazy on our vehicles that would identify us. So it's
Michigan plates.
So we have a license plate holder.
That's about it, though.
On 2 of our vehicles that say University of Michigan alum or something of that nature. So yeah, if you see one, but the problem is there's also, most people who go to Michigan will let you know they went to Michigan, for better or worse. And so the people that I know that went to Michigan that live here probably, I think, all have the same sort of license plate holder.
Yeah, probably. Austin. So Amy's in that area.
I'm gonna
I think I saw Amy in the chat too. So hi,
she
Amy.
is. Laura has a story. She said yesterday her husband used her fabric scissors to open a package, and she threatened to divorce. They've been married 35 years. Hopefully you can make it to 36, and hopefully he doesn't do it again.
You know what? If he's good, like most cases, I will send you some fabric scissors to help save your marriage if you really need them, because that's a long time to be married. So if that's the worst thing he's done, I'll help you out if you need me.
I made that mistake once, but the problem is her fabric scissors are so nice. Like they like call me. They call to me. They're like, please use me, and I want to, and I'm like, no, I can't.
That's what's hard when you're up here too, is there's like so many scissors up here. So many different fabric scissors and like thread snips and all different kinds of stuff. But a lot of other work gets done up here because that's where we finish off and pack up all the slide locks. And so there's tape and all this stuff. And there's like probably 2 pairs of scissors you can use for that stuff. And then a whole bunch of fabric scissors.
Yeah. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Cindy, Shadow, come here. Come say hi again. Come here. His name is Shadow. Yeah, he's Shadow.
So when are you going to announce who was
Oh,
drawn
I should do that.
For the sewing machine again, this time?
I will do it right now, actually. I'm just going to do this comment. Cindy says she just got her 45-year-old Sears sewing machine serviced and was told it's good for another 45 years.
Nice.
Yeah, it's sort of...
They don't build things.
They don't. I could go on and on, but like there's so many things that were built 40 years ago that are so much better than anything you can buy today. I saw a video of a fridge from 1957, I believe it was.
What the heck?
That was still functional, still worked. And some of the features in it, like it had a butter warming drawer inside the fridge. It had stainless steel pull-out shelves, not the stupid plastic ones that come into stuff. It was the greatest fridge ever. I'm like, I want to buy this thing now. It wasn't for sale, but it's like, I want a fridge that actually is made of good materials, that isn't going to break, that doesn't feel flimsy. You can go you can go to Home Depot, see a $5,000 fridge, and you pull the drawers out, and it's like, these things are going to break if you put more than like a couple fruits in there.
Yeah, we had...
Really annoying.
We bought a freezer for our mudroom almost as soon as we moved in here, and like probably not even a week, one of the drawers on it cracked.
Yep. So Paula says husbands could just buy themselves a good pair of scissors, write their name all over them, and it's theirs. Yeah. Zaza says she has a fridge from the 1940s and it still works and it's beautiful. Yeah, absolutely. What
I hate about these fridges now is no matter what you do, like I cleaned off the front of it today and it'll look bad by the end of the day. I don't even know why, because it's not like anybody touches the fridge that often, or our kids aren't really little, so they don't put their hands all over it, but it just looks terrible everywhere.
Yeah. Okay, I will announce the winner now. Let me do this. Okay, so before I announce the grand prize winner, again, for those that just joined or didn't hear the initial soliloquy, the person who won the grand prize drawing turned the prize down because she said she doesn't quilt enough and didn't feel right having us give it to her when it would go to someone else who quilts more frequently than she does. So I will announce the second winner. It is not fun to have to go through and redo the process because it has to be like in accordance with very specific provisions and it takes a while. So I'm hoping that this second person will accept the prize. If not, we'll do this again next week and I will let you know. But the grand prize winner is Karen Nelson.
Congrats, Karen.
I haven't seen a Karen in the chat.
I haven't either.
So I don't think she's here, but you don't have to be here, Karen. I will reach out to you tomorrow and hopefully try to convince you to take your award. If not, then we'll do it again. So, yep, that's how that goes. So hopefully, Karen, if you're in the chat, let us know. Otherwise, I will give you a call tomorrow and we can talk about it.
So a New York beauty, do you know who that is now? I don't think you know.
I don't know.
Okay, so that's Mike, your buddy Mike.
Oh, good for you, Mike. You are beautiful, except for that blue cheese debacle. So
I need to make sure this is the right way.
We'll see how that goes. There was a
I've been trying to see if Karen pops up, because that'd be really cool if she's in the chat. But
so Joan said she got her clear trim locks. It's just hard to see the sizes.
Yeah, the sizes are harder to see on the clear.
Yeah, so the green, the fluorescent green material that we use is really good about reflecting light.
Yeah,
so you can easily see the colors. And so you can see the sizing. The clear does not reflect light. And so the sizes they're there, but they're not as easy to see. Although once you put them on something, you can see it pretty easily. Yeah, if you put it on
the fabric, like especially if it's darker fabric, it should show up a little better. But
Renea says, be like, so yeah, and call her now. So my problem is I could call her now, although she's in the central time zone. I don't know. I can call her. I mean, she's not gonna care, I would think. I don't know. So the other problem, I think, I will call her just because we'll see what happens.
But you'd have to go downstairs to draw again though, because I don't.
Well, no, I can't do it today. I'd have to wait till tomorrow.
Yeah.
So one thing I will say is, as a result of the governmental agencies I may or may not have worked for in the past, my phone number is blocked. So if I call someone, it just shows up as, it either says restricted or unknown. I don't really know what it says. So 9 times out of 10, people do not answer my phone calls, which is fine with me because I don't really want to talk to them. Yeah. So when I call my kids, like they don't even know it's me because it says restricted. So
nobody answers his calls, and he'll have to he'll text and be like, "That's me trying to call you."
Yeah. So if I really want to get a hold of someone, I will send them a text message and say, "Hey, I'm about to call you. Make sure you answer the phone." Okay, so I'm gonna call her and see how this goes.
The number you have dialed 207.
You should probably not let them hear it.
Oh my good God, are you kidding me?
If you feel you have reached,
the number's been disconnected. What the come on. We're never gonna give this thing away.
Are you sure you got the right one?
Yeah. I mean, we only had one Karen Nelson. Because it is a relatively common name. So I went through to make sure there were not 2 Karen Nelson. So one didn't get unduly surprised and was like, oh, I didn't win. All right, hold on. I'm gonna try to make sure I don't mess this up.
They may just have it say that if a restricted number's calling.
Well, let me have your phone.
Oh, it's right here. I was looking for it.
All right, we're gonna try this again. Okay.
So I think it's kind of cool in this pattern that it shows you how to make these sawtooth stars 2 different ways, because the larger stars are made with half square triangles, and then these are made with, the smaller stars are made with
the number you have dialed 2.
Well, I tried.
Has been disconnected or is no longer in service.
You probably
My wife's phone is not restricted. Oh my goodness. Come on, people.
Are you gonna try?
You have a bunch of voicemails you haven't listened to?
Yeah.
Oh my wife. Okay. So yeah, exactly, Mike. We can't give it away. This is ridiculous. All right. Well,
did you want to try emailing first before you move on?
I can. Technically, I have to actually check the rules. Give me one second, because it's the rules, I believe, say that you have to have a valid phone number, and if you don't, then they can't win.
You forgot your rules?
It's just 10 pages of rules. I don't remember them all. Let me see. Sorry, everyone. I'm just looking at the rules to make sure I'm doing the legally appropriate thing here.
I still haven't seen any.
Yeah, so she can't win because the rules actually state you must have a valid address, phone number, email address.
That's right, Paul. I'd rather be sewing than listening to.
Sorry, everyone.
Voicemails.
All right.
It's because I know that the voicemails are all from telemarketers, because I'll see the number come through and it's says it's a spam risk or whatever, so I just don't answer it. And then if it goes to voicemail, I just don't check it. But he does not like when I have notification. Well, I don't know if he cares if I have notifications on my phone, but he hates seeing them. They don't bother me. They add color.
I need to take this banner down. Karen Brunette says she'll just pretend to be Karen Nelson. I like that. Man.
You're not able to draw again tonight. You have to wait a day.
Yeah, I have to wait.
Because you have to take them out and stuff.
Yeah,
So Amy, did you see that?
um,
I'm throwing them away. Don't be mad at me.
so I'm an attorney by trade, which means that I am always very cognizant of the legal requirements for doing anything, for that matter. The rules that we used, which were drafted by me, in conjunction with someone I know who works for a Fortune 100 company and does this sort of stuff all the time, require that a person at the time of entry have valid contact information. So if I were to find out who Karen Nelson was and give her the award, not saying any of you would do it, but technically someone could sue and say, hey, you gave it to someone who didn't qualify because their information wasn't accurate.
This person could be right in here though. Like, would it say that if their lines down from like storms or anything?
Well, give me a second. I have a tool that is not available to civilians that will tell me if it's a cell phone or a landline.
Because I mean, I don't know, but that could be.
Yeah, I mean, I can't redo the drawing now because there's like a whole process, so I can do it tomorrow. I will check and see. So that person's number is a cell phone.
Mm.
So I mean, it could be. I mean, this person does not apparently. I don't know where she lives, but the address that she used is nowhere near anywhere that is having storms that I know of. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I will try and call her again tomorrow and see if I can get a hold of her. And if not, we will have to move on, which is unfortunate. So, Charlotte, how do you enter? The entry is already over. You had to have entered by May 19th, I believe, May 19th or May 20th. So there's no additional chance to enter. We may do another one like this next year. I don't know. I like doing the stuff because it's fun. Although not when you can't give it away.
It'll get given away. We may just end up down to like 200 people in there.
But we're never going to get down to 200. But
no,
if we get down to 200, I'm just going to be done.
Yeah. There's like what, 1,000 something entries or something.
There's a ton. There were 1800s, 19. I don't remember completely what it was.
What the heck, Shadow? What are you doing? So I'm just making the little 4 patches for the center of the stars for the 2 blue ones.
Sheila says, do I think it would be so hard to give away? No, I did not think it would be hard to give a sewing machine away.
I think it's just because I think some people entered without, or like not so much entered, but people who purchase things from our site, like they'll hear about it from other people and not necessarily know that they entered. And we did have a banner across the top of the website, but yeah, I mean, it's easy to overlook.
Mike, let's not play that game. He says cut to 2 months from now. We're not doing this in 2 months.
You'll be so tired of it too.
So yeah, fun times. So now that that's away, like I said, I will try to reach out to her and see. So Dragonflies for Donna, that's an interesting proposition. Pick another person tomorrow and then another just in case. Unfortunately, can't do that. So the universe of people who are eligible is set. So the drawing has to be made within that universe. And if someone isn't qualified, they have to be removed from the universe. All the names have to be reshuffled and it has to be done again. So you can't do 2 people at once because the second person technically would have been drawn with an improper universe. Look, there's a lot of legal stuff that goes into this, and maybe we shouldn't have to take it so seriously, but because I'm a lawyer and I deal with lawsuits over the most ridiculous stuff, I tell you, I just don't want to risk it. So
Susan, if you purchase something on our website during the time span, then you'd be automatically entered, and I feel like you have.
Yes. Charlotte, the machine is it's not this machine. Oh, no one can see what I'm pointing at, but hold on. It's this machine right here. It's a Juki TL 18 cube. It's a brand new one though. Not this one's ours, but there's a brand new one in box downstairs that we've been trying to give away.
Yeah, I just need to bring it upstairs. Maybe that'll be better.
Maybe better mojo.
Yeah, like have it up here, sitting up on the desk.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, when the drawing is chosen and we get the number and we have to, so the drawing comes up. The way it works is we get a random number that is then tied to a spreadsheet that has all of the entries into it. We have to take that random number, tie it to the number in the spreadsheet. Then we have to use that number in the spreadsheet to determine an order number because they're different numbers. And then we have to look up the order to find out who it is. I have been hoping that it was someone that was a regular, so I know that I could give it to them. But we have no control over that, unfortunately. So
Yeah,
actually, probably fortunately, because I don't even know how I would choose between all the people that show up.
yeah.
So yeah, that's exactly right, Zaza. I actually, one of my clients. So this is what I deal with on a regular basis. So one of my clients got screwed over by one of his clients, and they refused to pay him for the work he did, claiming that after he did the work, he's a consultant, claiming that after he did the work, they basically found someone else who said they could do the same work for cheaper. So they hired that person. That person didn't do any of the work because my client already had, and then they just paid that person the lower rate because my client was a much costlier thing. So we sued that. Well, I didn't sue him initially. I reached out to him and said, look, you don't get to do that. And the fact that you paid someone else for work that my client completed doesn't mean anything. Like, you owe us the money. And I said, if we have to sue you, then we're going to get our attorney's fees, and my rate is incredibly high, and you're not going to want to pay that. Like, right? So I think the last time a court approved my rates, they were $8.95 an hour, I think it was $8.95 an hour. Which means for every hour I have to deal with this case, you're going to pay another $895, which is stupid. You shouldn't do that. Anyway, they decided not to pay. We sued them. Then they dodged service. When you sue someone, you have to physically send out a process server to give them the paper saying you have been sued. Well, they dodged service, which is technically illegal. So I got notification today that they dodged service. I sent them a nasty letter saying, look, if you make me spend 5 hours writing a motion to the court as to why you're violating the law, I'm going to do it, but you're going to just end up paying an extra $5,000 for me to do that. And it seems stupid that you just don't pay the bill. So I said, if you guys make me do this, then I'll do it. But you could just call me and tell me you're going to pay everything and we're done. I send that email. 15 minutes later, their attorney calls me and says, hey, can we just pay and get this done with? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm trying to do for 6 months. Before, their argument was, well, we don't owe you because we paid someone else. They didn't dispute that we did the work. And now we're back to square one, which is they're just going to pay us the money. And it's like, we could have just resolved this 6 months ago. But now
they paid some random person who didn't do work.
Yeah.
So
now you're double paying, and you're going to have to pay a lot more than you initially owed us because I've spent a bunch of hours doing this case for my client. So, yes. So I am very cognizant of the law. I don't ever want to get sued because I don't ever want to trust a jury of my peers.
Laura, we haven't actually been together much longer than we've been married. We got married pretty quickly after we met. It's like, what, 4 months later or something?
Yeah, I think we got married within 4 or 5 months. And it would have been sooner. So I think we met in like February or March. I think we met at the end of February. I think we were engaged in like June or May. I don't remember. I had her ring custom made, her engagement ring custom, and the wedding band.
And I'm really bad at dates, so.
I think I talked to the jeweler who was going to design and make it right after my birthday, so sometime in April, and probably took him about a month. So we were probably engaged because the day I got the ring, I proposed, and that's a whole nother story. So we probably got engaged in May after meeting at the end of February, and then we waited to get married until August, I believe. We did get married in August, but we waited because her favorite number is 88, and we both wanted a date that we could remember easily because we're both bad with dates. So August 8th made a whole lot of sense. And so we waited until, I think we were engaged longer than we were dating, actually.
Probably.
So
all that to say, what, like 17, 18 years? Just under 20 years.
yeah. Neither of us know. It's almost 20 years. That's what I know. So oh, I see. Laura asked. So, Laura, I know I look like 60, but we're not old enough to have been married for 35 years yet. I'm not nearly as old as I look.
I don't think you look old.
I do.
But
the camera
I also hope
takes
that
the
I
years off.
don't. So.
Um,
Yeah, our pup decided to come up here today, so that's what you see flopping around every now and then back there. Sometimes he doesn't want to come up here when we come up, and sometimes he does.
Oh, they can see his tail. I didn't even notice that. So are we willing to share the engagement experience? It's very easy. It's quick. We were sitting on a couch in the living room. She was on my right, and I had my arm draped around her, and she was laying on my chest. I honestly couldn't tell you what we were watching.
Yeah, we were watching something on TV, probably something I made him watch, because back then I could make him watch what I wanted to watch. Now that doesn't happen anymore.
And she claims, and it's fake news.
No, it's true, because
she claimed she thought I was like going to die or have a heart attack because apparently my heart was beating
his
out of
heart
my
rate
chest.
got really high.
To this day, I deny it. So all it was is it was nothing special. It was, I asked her if she would marry me, and I think I was just like, hey, will you marry me? And I gave her the ring, and she said yes. And then she immediately told me that she thought I was going to die because my heart was beating so fast. I deny it. I was trained to not have issues like that. The other day, I've got cameras in my car, and so the other day, and this is why my heart was not racing that day. I showed my wife the video, but I almost had a head-on collision at 50 miles an hour with another vehicle because I'm driving on a back road. It's a 2-lane road, so 1 lane in each direction. I am going straight. I have the right of way. There's not really anywhere to turn on this road. There's a bunch of commercial buildings being built. They're more like warehouses, not commercial buildings. Anyway, point is, I'm going 50 miles an hour. There's a car coming this way. He stops in the middle of the road, but in his lane, and I am about 100 feet from him when, from a dead stop, he slowly starts to turn in across my lane. Now, I've looked at the video and I've done the math. I was about 100 feet. I had to slam on my brakes at 50 miles an hour because my camera tells me how fast I'm going. I barely miss him, and I swerve out of the way, and then I had to swerve back left to avoid basically going into a ravine. And I'm like, what the F just happened? And then I always check anytime something happens. I looked at my heart rate, 58. My heart rate was totally fine.
My
totally
resting
cool.
heart rate isn't even that low.
Yeah. So there's no way that when I proposed, my
time.
heart was going crazy because I almost died and I was totally fine. But I showed my wife the video and I'm like, this is why I'm not going to drive on that road anymore because I've seen crazy stuff like that happen numerous times. And I'm like, it'll never happen to me. And then it almost did.
I think it's because people just don't pay attention on that road because there's usually never anyone else on it.
Right.
But when there is someone else on it, they're likely not paying attention.
Amy says she's been married 30 years. She was a child bride. So yeah, we both were because we're only a year apart in age. Zaz has been married 27 years. I know we had a conversation about marriage a while back, and there were a couple people in the chat that had been married 70 years. It was amazing.
It's because all of us ladies quilt, and that keeps our stress down.
Laura G says she also got married on August 8th. And she and her husband had only actually seen each other in person a total of 7 weeks because he was in the military stationed overseas. Isn't it great, Laura? You just have the August 8th. You don't have to remember much. Although we have literally forgotten our anniversary like 3 or 4 times. So it didn't really work out the way we wanted it to as far as being able to remember.
Well, I scheduled this live just couple hours before it started because I forgot, because with the holiday weekend, I didn't even remember it was Wednesday at first. It felt like Tuesday.
Zaza says her husband proposed to her in the ladies' room of the local hotel after she'd been sick. I thought that was going a totally different way, Zaza. When you said he came into the ladies' room, I'm thinking, hey, this is some kinkiness going on. But no, you were just sick. But that's awesome. That's one way to do it. I mean, he really wanted to lock you down. I love it.
I turned 40 this year.
So I'm 41 because we're only a year apart. Joan's been married to her husband for 49 years. That is awesome. Yeah, it was fun. I think we got married on like a Wednesday. We're not big fans of fanfare, so we went to we got married in Santa Barbara. We went to just one of the prettiest parks that I know of in Santa Barbara. We picked out like a really nice spot near a garden under a tree, and we paid some guy like $100. I think maybe it was $125. Yeah, I went online and was like, I just need a wedding officiant. He met us at the park. He had never met us before. He married us in like 12 minutes. We paid him $125, and then we were done. Like our whole wedding lasted all of 20 minutes.
And we probably would have just got married in the courthouse if you could in that area.
Yeah, it wasn't really an option for Santa Barbara for whatever reason.
Either way, you had to pay for like somebody to officiate. I think you could go get married in the courthouse, but you still had to pay for somebody to like do the whole ceremony.
May have been what it was. It may actually have just been cheaper the way we did it.
Yeah, because you had to like either way, you had to pay somebody to like do all the formal. Do you take this person thing? So we're like, well, if we can't just go in and sign papers, we might as well just like do this somewhere pretty then.
Yeah, it's basically exactly what we did. So Judy's hilarious. She says she's been married 46 years, and the secret to a long marriage is to work opposite shifts so they don't have to fight over the bed hog. That's funny. We don't really fight. We sleep very differently. Like I don't, and I guess maybe you can refute this. I don't really move that much. Like once I'm asleep, I pretty much stay in the. And I blame that on the Marines because you just have to sleep. Literally, I'm not even joking. You learn to have to sleep a certain way. Partially because the Marines just want to control everything you do. Partially because, and I found this out in the field, it's really smart when you're sleeping if you don't move around a lot because you don't make noise and you don't sort of alert your enemies to where you might be. So I sleep pretty much rigid as a board and don't move. My wife moves a whole bunch, but she doesn't really ever impede on my side of the bed. So it works. She doesn't really wake me up. I think I've gotten used to it. Now, if I hear like a twig break in the backyard from 100 feet away, I will wake up. But when she's moving around, it's not a big deal.
I cannot sleep in one place.
She can't. Julie says she and her husband got married in a bait and tackle shop at 6 a.m. on a Friday, 11 years ago. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Get it over with. Don't make a big scene. Don't spend a whole bunch of money, and then you're good to go.
Amy, they are probably a lot smaller than you think, though. They're tiny. I don't know.
You've thrown those away?
Yeah.
Why?
What are you going to do with them?
Well, I don't know, but they're like really good shapes. You could use them for something.
Look. Okay, if you sew them together, look how small they'll be.
Vicky's been married 42 years. That is awesome.
I'm going to sew my finger off trying to sew these, Amy.
And Vicky got proposed to after Navy boot camp because they were both there together.
Look at how small that is. I don't even have a trim lock to trim that up that small.
I'll make you one.
No, you can't,
I can't because I don't have a handle
I won't
for
be able to
it.
cut
Yeah.
it. But
you can make cute little like bandana for Shadow.
Okay. What?
We've won, Amy.
No.
Oh.
You can sew them. I'll let you sew them. Let me see though. They could probably make like a nice sized like hourglass block. I'm never gonna finish this quilt now, Amy.
Laura G says they're in her 54th year. That is awesome. Pamela's 35 years. Paula's right. She says that's why you make huge quilts so that no one ever steals the covers. We have a very large quilt on our bed. We have like 2 or 3 in the rotation, but they're all huge. Yes, I agree with Zaza. She says when people say they can't afford to get married, it's not, as her husband says, it's not the wedding. It's that they can't afford the big white wedding they want.
Mm-hmm.
Like I will do whatever my daughter wants. She's got sort of a mix of our personalities. I don't, to the extent she ever does get married, I don't think she's gonna want a big one, which will be good for me. But like if she wanted a big one, we could do it. I just think people are better off saving whatever 50 grand and then just go buy a house or something rather than spending it on a wedding. But that's just me. Let's see. Oh, good night, Mona. Didn't see she's gone. Lord G's husband's a retired Marine, so he's good to go. Amy says she cuts down to 1.5 inch squares. Debbie's been married 30 plus years. They never remember when the actual date is, so they just say it's sometime in July.
That sounds like us.
Yeah, so Judy says her husband needs to use those triangles for gun cleaning. I don't know if these are soft. I wouldn't use these on any of mine simply because I think they're a little bit rough. I like using like cotton, like straight up 100% cotton. But you could definitely use them for that.
Or that would have been fun to go to get married by an Elvis impersonator.
Paula says to save all the scraps and then we can do like a giveaway with like another box so fun, as Mike has called it.
I do. I think I have 3 box of funds for a little.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
Sweet. Do you want to do a giveaway tonight or do you not have one ready?
I have one ready if you want to do one.
Okay. If anyone would like to do a box so fun giveaway, just say so in the chat and we'll do one.
So what is this? I think it's 2.5. About 2.5. These are so small. Okay, I'm going to number the boxes. So if it's not a good one, it's all y'all's fault. Because if you choose the number, let me see. Who should choose the number? Let's make Amy choose the number.
How many boxes are we giving away?
1. But I'm saying okay. I'm going to number the boxes 1, 2, and 3. Amy's going to pick a number 1, 2, or 3. I'm putting Amy on the spot since she's calling me out for the scraps.
So Mitzi's been married 35 years. Kathy, 37. Sheila says she got married by the JOP, Justice of the Peace, in front of his pet alligator. Sheila, was that in, I'm guessing either, I don't know, Australia or Florida? Guess who? Nancy has been married 45 years. Yeah, Mike says, of course, he wants a box of fun.
Okay, so these are the 3 boxes.
Okay, so we have 3 boxes.
1, 2, or 3. Unless she already gave
Amy said 2, box 2. So which one is box 2? Okay.
You're gonna like this one. Oh my gosh.
Hold on, everyone. I've got to get into the giveaway tool so that I can set up the.
Do y'all want to see what's in the box? Let me know. No, I'm not gonna put it by you because you're gonna sniff everything. No sniffing.
Okay, everyone, I'm going to do a quick banner here.
Okay. You guys are going to love this one, I think. Well, the other one was really good too, but all of them are really good. So this one has a lot of Missouri Star stuff in it from the Jenny's box that I knew I wouldn't use, and I know a lot of you love the stuff. So I think this is the mug from last year. And I really actually like the mugs, but we have 8 million mugs. But I think, okay.
50 years for Mary G. Sorry, everyone. I'm just trying to catch up.
So there's some fusible fleece in here. There's the plates from the box. There's a calendar. There's some kits too. And I really, really, really wanted to make the, oh wait, there's more stuff in here.
Joan says, at least you know we'll accept it. That's true.
This I really like, but I have a bunch of magnetic things, but this was really cool to hold pins, but they're also nice for picking them up off the floor, like when you drop them and can't find them. There is like a thing for threading in here.
Everyone, I suck at life, so you're gonna have to re-enter because it's hashtag #BoxSoFun. I didn't put the thing in there. I apologize. That's my fault. I
So hold
suck.
your iron. There's so much stuff in here.
I'm not going to draw for a few minutes, so everyone just re-enter. That's my bad.
Oh, this was the purse that I really wanted to make, but I know I'm not going to have time. But
Are those
handles here
handles?
for it.
Those
Yeah,
are nice. Is that wood handles?
it's really cute. Yeah. I just know I'm never going to make it.
See, why didn't you tell me? I could have done something with these. I could have made like a cool bookshelf out of these, or a book.
Well, they go with that
bookends.
purse.
Well, that's fine. I'm not taking them now. Just saying.
But the fusible fleece is for the I mean, you can use it for whatever you want. And yeah, there's a bunch of stuff in here. A bunch of stuff.
I'm such a dude.
I'm gonna get back in there.
Everyone like typed in what I told them to, and then I was wrong, and so everyone had to do it again. That's my fault. Sorry, everyone. Actually, I was like, I thought I had to do the hashtag, and then I didn't, and then it is. Okay, it's collecting entries now, so we're good. Hey, come up here. People want to say hi to you again. Come on.
I wonder if I have a charm pack that I can put in here for that purse.
Here, look
'Cause
over here and say hi.
I think I used.
No, thank you.
Oh no, I still have it. So I'll put in the charm pack that was for that purse too.
Oh, cool. Let me see.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
It looks pretty. Oh, I love this one.
It's really pretty, but
Yeah.
it looks really nice with the purse. And you don't, I mean, you can use it for however you want. But.
Yeah, but this is a really pretty one. So there we go. Put that back in the box. Shadow! Can you look at the camera? No, not me, the camera.
No, I really wanted to make that purse, but I just know I'm not gonna. I mean, I haven't put up like a tutorial video in a while. We've had so much going on. We had 3 soccer games over the holiday weekend.
Yeah. Shadow.
They
High five.
were what? Is that an hour and
Say
a
high
half
five.
away?
He's waving, everyone. High five.
His name's Shadow.
Yeah. Okay, you can go down now. You scratched my face accidentally. So his name is Shadow, and he is a Labradoodle. We just keep him cut very short because it's 150 degrees here. And he has a bad habit of rolling around in compiling as much pollen as he possibly can. And then he comes in and everyone sneezes. So, plus he just looks more sleek and svelte when he is shaved short, and he likes that. Debbie, no one asked. She said that Dallas is up 1-0 versus the Oilers.
Oh no.
I was not happy that Dallas won the last series.
Is that for the hockey? We haven't watched
Yes.
games.
Yeah. So, let me see. Okay, we've got a lot of entries. So we will do the drawing at 8 p.m. So just enter by 8 p.m. and then we will do the drawing for the box of fun. Oh, Susan says 11 and a half working days until her retirement, and then she has more.
Nice.
That is awesome, Susan. So 11 and a half days. Where are you that there's a half day? Because it's like 8 o'clock where we are. Or do you just have a half day on your last day? That could be fun. And I came up with 3 really good questions for this live, and I have not got a chance to use any of them. I'm not going to because we're going to be done soon. But that is awesome, Susan. That is congratulations.
Well, so I'll ask one if you don't want to ask one of yours, because I was thinking about it when we were eating dinner, because we had the game shows on in the background, and I love game shows. So what game show would you love to go on?
I'd want to go on the game show that's going to give me the most money for the least amount of effort. Like Jeopardy, you can win as much as you want because you just keep going back and back and back.
Well, if you win.
Yeah, but that's a lot of work. Like I want a show where I can just go and be done and make like $1 million in like 15 minutes. I don't think a show like that exists anymore.
Is Press Your Luck the one with whammies, Mike?
Yes.
Yeah, I like that one. I feel like I would be really smart in that one and not keep going like some of them do. But I also think I would just be very unlucky anyway. I wouldn't have a chance to be very smart and not try and keep going. I have the worst luck.
Wheel of Fortune, Price is Right.
Price is Right would be fun.
I just feel like that one's such a crapshoot, right? Like,
I mean, it really just depends on the game you get to play.
Yeah. I don't know what mine would be. Yeah, I don't know. What would yours be, baby?
You don't win a lot of money on it, but I think the only one I would really be decent at is Family Feud.
Oh, the wall's a good one because you can make a lot of money on the wall.
You should go on that one. Was that the floor? That was the one.
The floor's a good one. I love 100,000.
Power's flickering.
Our power's flickering, so hopefully we're still streaming.
What time is it?
We've got 4 minutes. It looks like the stream's still on. Okay, I don't see anyone entering right now, so I'm gonna do the drawing right now, just in the event that we lose power, because we are getting flickers here. So here we go. We're going to do the drawing right now. Okay, let's see who wins.
Brenda
H has won. So Brenda H, if you are still in the chat, please let us know, and then I will tell you what you need to do in order to get this. Lady Fair, you had asked who won the Juki. Nobody yet. The first person who won turned it down because she said she wouldn't use enough. And the second person, we did the drawing, and then everyone here said I should call her while on the live. So I did. And her phone number is no longer valid. So we will have to redraw again, and we will be back here again.
Well, you're going to try calling again.
I will try to call her again. I've called her from 2 different phones, and the number says it's disconnected. So we'll try again. And if that doesn't work, then I will have to do another redraw. So I need to. So Brenda H, are you still here?
Let me see.
She shows to still be in the chat. Oh, there she is. Okay. Yep. She's still here. Okay. Good. So we're good there. Oh, Cindy, you're hilarious. I love it. Oh, Cindy, you're hilarious.
Well, we'll keep doing more boxes of fun over the next few lives because they're fun to do. And I'll see if I can put together some more. Since there's a demand, I'll do better at collecting my scraps too. But I honestly, like, this is really cute, but it is so small. I don't know if I have my trim lock to trim this up that size, but that's so small.
Oh, man. I just got an ad.
Why'd you let it do that?
I didn't mean to. I was trying to type a message to Brenda's telling her what we need to do.
Yeah, so I'll get a little container to keep all my scraps in. If y'all really want us to do a giveaway with them, I will.
Jan Moran said she received her Slidelock that she won, so that's good.
Yeah, I think scraps are fun. Yeah. So how long do we need to wait till next week, or could we try and do like a quick live over the weekend? So it doesn't drop.
At this point, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I mean, we could do a quick live. The problem is I just don't know how many people we even join.
Well, when we used to do lives every now and then in the morning on Saturday.
You're going to be on Sean's live in the morning.
Yeah, but we could go on after. Oh, yeah. So I think, hold on, let me make sure he confirmed. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to be on Sean's live, the guy who sews Saturday morning. So check that out. And if we do decide that we have time on Saturday, we can try and do a quick live. So you don't have to wait as long for the sewing machine. You're going to try calling, though, tomorrow.
I'm going to try reaching out to her again tomorrow.
Yeah.
And hopefully I can get a hold of her. But if not...
So we'll definitely put in the community post again, updating. And then if we can go live Saturday after Sean's, we can try and announce again.
You just look at the screen, babe.
Huh?
Joan said that she got the alphabetized numbers and such, and it only took her an hour to remove the papers.
But that's so long. I mean, yeah, because it's one set. But just imagine doing a bunch of them.
Yeah, right. That's the issue. That's why we don't sell them really all that much anymore, because it takes forever. And Joan, I have to ask, now that you've done it, how are your fingers? And how many times did you have to put Band-Aids on them? And how are your nails?
Well, probably doing one set. Probably didn't get to that seriousness.
That may be true.
Yeah. Just for me, like after I do a bunch of them, my hand would start cramping, trying to hold the little alphabet piece.
Brenda says she'll take the machine and give us $100.
Just trade it for the box of fun. Trade out gifts. No, that is a good idea, though. We probably should do something with the Bernina. And the other two brothers aren't fancy machines, but somebody still may need one.
Yeah, we just need to get the Bernina. Oh, do we have to get it serviced, or you get it serviced already? I
haven't got it serviced yet, but I wouldn't want to give it to somebody without it being cleaned up.
To be fair, the Bernina is a great machine. It's just that the thread cutter, the way it's designed, is such that if you use the thread cutter on the machine, after a couple hours, after a couple hours of sewing like consistently, it builds up and jams, and so you have to get it serviced again. Now, the way to work around that is just never use the thread cutter on the machine.
I just quit using it, and then I wouldn't have a problem. So
okay, we're gonna save all your scraps because we can put these in another box of fun.
Okay, well,
people are like really upset that you're throwing.
I'm not gonna dig the ones out of the trash though, but I will from now on. I do have scraps, so I have stuff where I can put it together for about one. Because it's not like I never keep my scraps. I don't want to hit you, Shadow. Like I have things like this everywhere with scraps. Now, to be fair, on the top here, there are some really big pieces, but there's smaller pieces in here. I keep scraps. I promise. Just when they're really, really small like that, I don't, because I know I'm not going to use them. But I have a bunch of containers all over like that.
Judy says we could donate the machines to a senior citizen center. We could. I don't actually know where there are any around us. We sort of live in the middle of nowhere. I'm sure there's probably one in Houston, but that would mean I'd have to drive there. A senior citizen center. I haven't seen.
I'm sure there's one like closer than.
Sheila, the Bernina is do we have 480, 490?
I honestly don't remember. But when I looked it up, there was a lot of people that had the same issue that I did with it. I don't think it's a 580. That doesn't. I think it's the 4.
I think it's
a
480.
4 something. But yeah, when I stopped using the thread cutter, I didn't have so much of a problem anymore. But I just don't use all the fancy stitches and stuff. So as much as I needed to get its service for how much I sew, it just didn't make sense since I didn't use all the fancy stitches on it.
Twilight, yeah, we still have the
I
the
can look.
1141 or is it 1181? 11, yeah, we still have it. We use it.
Here, I'll just look if it's right here.
I obviously like to design things, and I like to engineer stuff, and I think the Jukis are incredibly well made. That's not to say that other machines aren't. I haven't had much experience with other machines, but I definitely love the Jukis. And we would have purchased a Juki.
It's a 480.
It's a 480. Is the Bernina. We would have purchased a Juki long arm, but for the fact that the frame that comes with the Juki long arms has a lot of issues with it. And so we did not want to go down that route. Otherwise, I would have preferred to have buy the Juki long arm.
Did you get her info for to make sure we can send the box of fun tomorrow?
Yeah, Brenda, remember to email us. And then we will once I get your information, I will send out the box of fun to you. So we'll probably just have to wait until next week to do the drawing. I will have it set up though. I think I can have it set up to do I didn't expect to have to do another drawing tonight, so I can probably have it set up so if we need to do it again, we can. And I'll just call whoever it is on the phone and just be like, hey, yes or no.
Yeah, just make sure.
Yeah. And no. I mean, like when I do the drawing next week on the live, I'm going to call that person immediately and say, look, you got 30 seconds, yes or no. If they say no, we'll just move on. We'll do 7 drawings if we have to.
You just bring up your whole setup.
Yeah.
Keep redoing it.
Twyla, what's the best Juki for bags, thick fabrics? I mean, we have the 1181N, and it is phenomenal. And that's a straight stitch only. But it's a phenomenal machine for that. Like she's sewn through like very thick leather.
I have one here.
And she's gone through vinyl grade canvas, stuff that you can use on boats and such.
Well, I mean, it has leather on it, but this isn't the leather one.
And the 1181 is not a bad price for an industrial machine. This is all leather. Oh, that's a really nice one too. This is all like genuine, 100% real, top grade.
This one's all leather.
Thick leather. So the 1181 is a great machine. If you are interested in the 1181, let me know. And I will recommend you. I can't remember the guy's name, but he runs a shop where he only sells industrial stuff out of Chicago. I think it's called Gold's Sewing. But he will give you the best price that they can give you on these. And the shipping was great. They're great people to work with. I think it's Gold's Sewing, but if you're interested, let me know and I will let you know.
Gold.
Or maybe it's Sewing Gold. But they're great. They're great people to work with. Very easy, very knowledgeable. And then we're good to go. So, Lady Fair. The first name of the person who won was Karen. Although when we called, it said that her number had been disconnected. So I don't know what your first name is, but I don't think the phone call was blocked because it said that the number had been disconnected.
So that machine sews through a lot of layers of leather because this card slot area, there's a ton of leather through here, layers of it. So it's really, really good for, I have not tried sewing leather on this one, but with the, I can't think, do you remember what this is called? That will lift and lower, that's like a micro.
I don't know.
I don't remember what it's called, but micro adjuster. It helps the walking foot go over like really thick seams. much more smoothly. It'll like automatically raise and lower it. So I haven't had trouble with this one with like faux leather, but I haven't used any leather on it. But I love doing bags.
Donna says she loves the cutter on her 2010Q. Yeah, we have a 2010Q, and we've not had any issues using the cutter on that one.
Mm-mm.
So
I haven't had any trouble on this one or that one, but the Bernina, I couldn't get the automatic thread cutter to work.
well, it works.
So-
It just jams up if you use it.
But it jams up your whole machine, not just the.
Yeah.
That's not for you, Shadow. I had him up here to take pictures. It's not for you. But it'll jam up the whole machine on the Bernina. So I had to get it in. They had to clean it all out. I guess it got like all like jammed up in there. And it was to the point where the screen would say like all the gears were messed up or whatever. And you couldn't even like hand turn it. Like it would not move at all. So very disappointing because I maybe had it 3 or 4 months when it first
Yep.
got. Like it was really disappointing.
I got your contact information, Brenda, so we are good to go. Yes, Kathy, Shadow is the most spoiled dog in the world. He's always very happy. And we switched to a new type of food, 3 or 4 months ago, and he's 7.5, and he's like gone back to having like the energy of a 3-year-old pup, which is, fun. Right, pup? But he seems to be in much better spirits on new food. So
we had to go through so many different foods for him. And I think they thought he had like allergies to meat in general, but I think he's just very sensitive.
He had some weird stuff going on. So they said that he probably had some sort of meat allergy. So he switched to a vegetarian based food, which he seemed like he loves all food.
Yeah, it's hard to tell if he likes or doesn't like something.
And it more or less resolved a lot of the ear issues he was having because he was getting allergic reactions.
But he was very lethargic.
He was very lethargic. And then one day I dropped a piece of steak and he ate it up and didn't have any issues. So we sort of figured out and realized, he's got like a seafood allergy. So we switched to a raw food where he just eats like raw meat and such. And we buy it from a company that does it, but
it's like not just meat though. They put like
meat and
sweet
veggies,
potatoes and other stuff in there.
But he is so much more energetic now, and he
doesn't have any ear issues.
He has not had any issues. His skin looks better, so
he doesn't chew his paws as much anymore. Yeah, if at all. Which they said that's like a huge sign that they're having allergy issues. But
the food, it's called Maeve, Maev. So Michael Alpha Echo Victor, Maeve, and it was recommended to me by someone I trust with dog stuff. So tried it out, and he loves it. They ship it to you. We get like once a month, and it's frozen, and you just throw it in the freezer, and you serve it to the dog. You just scoop out. Like for him, he gets a cup a day, or 2 cups a day, right?
2 cups.
So we get 4 bags every month, and that lasts us. We usually have like maybe 2 or 3 scoops left at the end of every month, but he loves it. It's like I said, he's been a much more happy dog, much more energy. So
he's just very high maintenance.
He is.
But it was really hard, like, because he would scratch so badly. I had to miss out on one of our daughter's soccer. It was a tournament, right?
She had a tournament in San Antonio.
Needed medications and stuff because he had scratched his eye so bad. So thankfully that seems to be resolved now.
Yep. Yeah. So I highly recommend Maeve if you guys are looking for new food. There's just something about having fresh food that seems so much more appetizing than, kibble.
Well, I mean, it's raw though, so that doesn't seem.
Well, for him, not for me. I wouldn't eat it. Debbie says Tide 2.
It doesn't seem as bad though, since it's frozen. Like for me giving it to him, but because they recommend that you just give it to him frozen so that it takes them longer to like chew it and stuff.
Yeah, so they
too
don't
fast.
eat it too fast and then get bloated. So he takes his time eating it. He likes it. So, yeah, I think anyone that actually loves their dogs, because there are some people who don't, which I don't understand why they have pets. I think we all think our dogs are high maintenance because we spoil them, but that's okay.
He's over here just looking proud. He's like, I know they're talking about me.
We are, Shadow. We are. So yeah, so we will. We'll do the drawing again. We'll do it. We've got to. Yeah. So I'm gonna try and reach out to Karen again tomorrow. For anyone who is asking why we don't just email her, I completely understand that train of thought. The official rules require the legal rules that I have to follow, so I don't get sued. Require someone to submit accurate information, including name, address, phone number. So if one of those pieces of information is inaccurate, like a phone number that doesn't work, they are disqualified. That may seem unfair and it may seem harsh, but that's what the rules require. So like I can't do anything about that. I would prefer to not have to deal with it, but those are the rules and we have to abide by them in order to stay compliant. So it's not because we're not wanting to give it to her. We definitely want to, but if she did not submit a valid claim, which consists of valid information for everything that we asked for, then she can't be considered. I am not trying to be mean or not give it to her. It's just if we give it to her, especially now, like I guess if I just shut my mouth, then probably wouldn't have mattered. But the problem is that's what the rules say.
But you like to hear yourself talk because you're a lawyer.
It's only because I don't want to hear anyone else talk.
That's so. Since we went to that tournament this weekend, it was close enough where we didn't stay up there in a hotel, but it was still a very long drive. It's about an hour and a half away, and we had 3 games on 3 separate days, so a lot of driving. And all we did pretty much during the drive, because our daughter likes to just zone out, put headphones on, listen to music. All we did was talk about that Karen Reed trial, I think.
We did. And not that any of you necessarily care all that much, but we're proud parents. Apparently, so the whole point of these particular tournaments at the end of the year is for college coaches to come and watch the high-level girls play. And at our second game, there was a scout who was there for the whole game, and he seemed to take interest in our team because he was sitting on our side of the field. Thought it was interesting. Our daughter played incredibly well that game. I mean, she's usually very good, but that was probably one of her best games. And then that same college coach came back the next day and stayed for the whole game and was talking to our coach a whole bunch. And apparently he was very interested in our daughter. And so he had given some notes to our coach to give to us. And so he technically can't speak with her yet because they hadn't met through other means. So he has to wait until June 15th of this year to reach out. But he told our coach that he was going to reach out to her and see if she'd like to play for their school. So we'll see how that goes. But it was a big win. I mean, she played very well this weekend.
Yeah.
And it's even more impressive in our minds because she's 16 and she was playing against a bunch of 18-year-olds. So the fact that probably is what helped, because when you see someone, you could look at our daughter and think she's 18, and that's probably what he initially assumed since she's playing against them. But I think when he found out that she was only 16 and was still just finishing her sophomore year, that was something that probably was like, wow, this girl's going to get better for 2 more years before she can come play for us. So we're happy about that.
Yeah, I mean, if you follow my Instagram, I share videos from her trainings every now and then. And she definitely puts in a lot of work to playing soccer. So
she does. Joyce says we're such a cute couple. Thank you, Joyce. We try. She's the cute one. I'm just here for the comic relief, and I don't do a great job at that.
You can go downstairs if you want.
She's nice. He wants.
Well, he must have heard something, so Hunter must have came out of his room for a little bit.
You want to come say hi to the people again? Come here. Come on. Up. Here, high five. I want you to wave. High five.
He's
Hey,
like, no, last
high
time I
five.
scratched you.
Yeah, good boy.
Thank you, Cindy.
Okay, you just hit me where you shouldn't have. That
He's
hurt,
like,
Shadow.
you told me to get up here.
What did Cindy say? I missed it. Oh, good luck, girl. Thank you, Cindy. Okay, so we will meet you all back here next week.
And don't forget to hop on Sean, the guy who sews live Saturday morning at 7 Central, right?
Yes, because it's
Yes.
8 Eastern.
Yeah. So I'll be there hanging out, sewing and chatting. I need to figure out what to work on. But yeah, join us again for our next live. We'll give away another box of fun.
Yep.
And hopefully a sewing machine.
All right, everyone. Have a wonderful evening, and we will see you next week.
Bye. Did you say bye?
Here, come here.
Did you say bye?
Say bye. Here, high five. Yeah. Okay. Good boy.